Hey guys, welcome to Waste Not Wednesday. We go live every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time to take junk, things that we got for free, things out of the garage, and make use of them again. Today we are going to be doing IOD Palooza because
Christmas Palooza IOD
it's
style.
the second day of November, and if you're a crafter, it means you are in full Christmas swing. So we just want to show you some fun ideas that we're going to be using these little jars for. We're going to make Christmas trees. And then also we're going to do some stamping, and Zeb just has some random wood cutouts that we have left over.
I've been
from
cleaning
craft
the
kits and
garage,
stuff.
trying to get ready for winter, and so we can actually maybe park in there. And
that's the goal.
I found all kinds of stuff. This needed an extra little notch cut out of it in a couple places. I have another one. They were both like that. Didn't come off the CNC good. This was fully assembled, just sitting in there. You know, all kinds of stuff.
If you want to shop along, visit jbrayvintage.com for the paint and products. And if you're watching us live until Friday the 4th at 11:59 p.m., we have buy two IOD products. You get free shipping to the 48 contiguous states, and you save 25%. It's a pre-Black Friday sale, so don't miss out on that. And we are going to get going. So Zeb, why don't you tell me?
2022.
Oh, 2022. I know, because replay, right?
Yeah, people will be watching this 5 years from now looking for the sale and be like, what? There's no sale.
So I'm going to get started painting these. If you guys recall, a few weeks ago, we did some like cloth trees for these. I never got around to painting them. And I have more jars because Eliza eats these little, I don't know, yogurts that come in them. And they're like $1 something a yogurt. So I can't like stomach throwing away the jar. Like that's how you pay for the yogurt. So can you pass me Sandy Blonde and a paintbrush then?
Yes. And the adhesive on this is the worst.
Yeah. I told you. It's fine. If you don't use lemon oil, like it's not going to come off. Just go. It's fine. I'll just paint over it.
Okay.
It's going to add texture.
We'll put some molds on it.
I was also going to say, if you guys haven't watched, we did a video yesterday, 5 projects with IOD. These are left over from that. And this one is curved. And the way I did that was I microwaved it for 30 seconds, even after it was painted. This is resin that we poured into an IOD mold, and it made it pliable. And then I just held it against my jar until it cooled down, and now it's curved. So I'll do that again with this one and maybe this one, because it's always a little difficult to get resin onto curved jars, especially if you poured them previously. Because if you pull them out right after you pour the resin, they're usually pretty pliable. But once they've sat overnight, they're pretty hard. So just microwave them. Test out your microwave because all of them are different strengths. Ours, about 30 seconds is perfect. And it didn't even like ruin the paint or the wax.
Nice.
So anyways, I'm going to get started painting these so we can get these going.
Yeah, you used liquid patina on that, the copper, right?
Yeah, I used copper patina and the black wax on those.
I thought I had everything ready to go.
And if you guys have not watched yesterday's video, please watch it and share it out. Our edited videos are struggling a little bit, so we want to let YouTube and Facebook know how much you guys like edited videos, so that way we can keep making them, because our live videos,
it's going to be all shorts.
Yeah, otherwise all you're getting are live videos and shorts, because those are the only videos that get seen. All right, I'm just going to paint this with Sandy Blonde. You probably don't think of it much as a Christmas color, but I have this really cute velvet ribbon, and it's just going to pair really nicely, and it looks good with the copper against this.
I'm going to work on my horse first. I'm going to do an inlay on it. All the products, mostly other than the paints today, are stuff that is either IOD or goes with IOD. That's the theme. And all their stuff works really well for decor and Christmas items too.
Jenny says you can also get lids for those little jars on Amazon. I didn't know they had some that fit these. That's fun. Yeah, because I think they have like the little, what's the word? Aluminum foil type lids.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Because they're yogurt. She drinks or eats the dairy-free kind because she's lactose intolerant, but we have tons of milk and cream from our cow, so we're going to start making more dairy products for our daughter because she can have raw milk. She does fine with it. She just can't eat dairy that's been pasteurized. And I think it's because our Jersey cow has the A2 gene, and a lot of people that are lactose intolerant can do raw milk or milk with the A2 gene.
It's the A2 casein.
A2 casein. There you go.
All right, so I have a ton of these, and I'm thinking it's not like, so I don't know that this one here, trying to find the front of it, the Chateau is not necessarily made for Christmas, but most of their Christmas stuff, at least on the IOD side, like we're sold
out of all the Christmas inlays.
So I'm gonna got a catch in my throat. I'm gonna try to use things that aren't necessarily just for Christmas and make them Christmas-like with the right colors, the golds, the coppers, the greens, reds, things like that.
We're gonna Christmatize it.
Yep. I'm gonna move these corbels away for a minute. I also have a stick off of our apple tree. I might do something with that in a minute. We'll see what we have time for.
Does the paint stick well to glass? I've not had a problem with it. You do want it, like, don't take your fingernail to it within a few weeks. Let it really cure up, but it sticks pretty good. You can also use milk paint if you add the extra bond to it. But yeah, I've not had problems painting glass with this. Just know, especially if you're going to second coat it, this is a really slick surface. So when you put your second coat on, you can't push hard. You're going to reactivate the first coat and pull the second coat off. So easy breezy does it. Nice loose wrist on your second coat.
Get your princess wave out.
Yeah, princess brush strokes like this. Not this.
All right, I found what I'm looking for. So on most of this is this really kind of, I want to say, reminds me kind of like a Mediterranean French kind of style.
Chateau.
Yeah,
that would be French.
Chateau. But on the bottom of the pattern, we have a couple of these deer/stags, and I'm going to put them on my rocking horse.
Okay. I'm going to let these dry. I could heat gun them, but we have a lot of other projects going on, so I feel like I can just assist. We also, while Zeb's working on that, we have another project coming. You guys be so proud. We actually prepped. This board has been painted with DIY white swan, and we mixed paint frosting in it. I don't know if you can see, it has a bunch of texture. And then we're going to be using, is it the Heavenly stamp?
Yes, the Heavenly stamp, which is this one.
We're going to practice on the back because I'm not sure. I want to try to use paint and not ink. So I want to see what it looks like with paint. And if we like it, then we're going to do an angel theme on this. And then I'll have Zeb figure out some sort of frame for it, and we'll sell it at our shop. So
okay,
I'm going to move this back so it's out of your way. But I just want to show you that this is coming. And the paint frosting is really easy. I actually just mixed it up in this cup with a little bit of the white swan paint frosting. It says you need to wait up to 12 hours to get it super thick. But this is how thick it got in like 45 minutes because I did that just before we went live. And the paint frosting, a lot of you guys are new, so I just want you to know what it looks like. Just comes in this little bottle. You just use a tiny little amount. It says 0.2 to 0.6% of the total volume of paint. So I usually just use like half a capful when I'm doing about that much paint. Anyways, that's how I made the texture for that backer.
So I'm cutting these deer out. Because I want to use them on specific places. And then I'm going to use some more elements off of that. But you notice I haven't started painting because I want to put this in to the paint.
Caitlin, those are the wee yogurt jars. And Jane wanted to know more about the milk. I don't really know a ton. I just know that a lot of people that have dairy allergies, it's not necessarily that they can't tolerate lactose or dairy. It's just they can't process like the pasteurized, homogenized mainstream dairy, but they do okay with raw milk that has the A2 casein gene. Kind of the same way that Zeb's not supposed to have gluten for his Hashimoto's, but he can have kamut. There's still gluten in it. It just, his body processes it better because it's an ancient grain. Same thing with like the raw cow's milk. Eliza can tolerate it. And I'm not like a medical professional, so take this for what it's worth.
She just gets like crampy and sick to her stomach.
She pukes.
So we're like, all right, try just a little bit, have the lactate on hand and ready to go. And she was fine. She's been drinking it all week and not an issue. Doesn't even know where her lactate pills are anymore.
Yeah, she's fine with it. She can have the butter that we make from it. all those things. So and it's pretty common. So you can just look up like lactose intolerance raw milk, and you could probably read like a ton of articles. You do need to be careful. Like you need to know the source of your milk, that you can trust it, that they're testing for mastitis and things. Because the reason why milk is pasteurized is to make it safe to drink. But pasteurization, meaning like boiling it and all that stuff and homogenizing it, that actually gets rid of a lot of the nutrients that are in it. Think of like when you're nursing a baby, like all of those vitamins and nutrients and things that the baby's getting. If you were to pasteurize your own milk, then it kills all the good bacteria and stuff. That's as much as I can explain.
All right, so a little more science on it. Most of your dairy cows are the big Holsteins that are in commercial dairies, and they have an A2B2 casein for their proteins, and that is what creates the intolerance in a lot of people that have the issues. And a lot of jerseys, not every jersey, but a lot of jerseys, our jersey is the A2A2, and that's kind of balances things out for people that have a problem.
I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. If you hear jars moving around, it's because we keep it in the fridge, but I want to show one with a cream line because it's pretty impressive.
All right, so I got this laid on here. Paint's still wet. I'm just going to get this wet. We've had to do some experimenting with the cottage colors. It's not necessarily the exact formula that you're going to get from the IOD sisters to make this work.
We don't let it dry all the way because it has a built-in top
So
coat.
Paint's on there, right? Just dabbed it wet. Didn't let it dry. Watching this in real time live. Oh, I'm going to give it a couple more seconds.
Or get it wetter. So the inlays, the way they work is they're water activated with water. So that's why you have to use a damp rag and put it into wet paint. So it bonds the paint into the paint because essentially the inlay is paint. Is it working?
Yeah, and this pattern's pretty loose anyway.
There we go.
All right, so my deer's on there.
Oh dear.
Okay, I'm gonna use some of these other patterns too, like on the rungs.
All right, so I'm just gonna show this to you while he's working on painting.
You thought you were getting an IOD demonstration, but really we're here to
We're in our
about
kitchen.
milk.
You're asking me about milk. So this is raw milk. I don't know if you guys can see it, but right here, this has already been skimmed for cream, but we still have a cream line about here. So before we drink it, because it's not homogenized, we have to shake it up.
Oh, they probably can't even see that.
I think they can.
It's pretty bright.
Well, just know that the cream line is right here. And we do pull the cream off the top. You have to let it sit for 12 hours. And then when you pull the cream off the top, we use our mixer and you can make butter. And this is raw milk butter that it's just cream and salt. And we just mix it up and we rinse it and we get rid of the buttermilk. So that way it doesn't go rancid. And we keep it in the fridge.
Well, we don't really always get rid of it. We use it in pancakes.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, like you get rid of it out of the butter.
Oh, yeah.
We use it. We don't throw out the buttermilk. We use it for other things. But we're going to get some molds so that way we can mold the butter and then we'll be able to keep it like on the counter in our butter keeper. But anyways, now you got a raw milk lesson.
Now you got all the milk lessons.
And we only, right now we're only milking her like once a day. So we only get just under 2 gallons, but some of that's cream. And we pretty much drink and consume all of the milk products that we're getting right now. Because we normally drink about 1 gallon or so a day anyways, which I guess sounds like a lot to some people. Well, probably most people. But we like milk. And once we start making cheese and yogurt and sour cream and things like that, we'll use up more of the milk. We're going to look into freeze drying it and all those things. So there you have it. And no, we don't live in the country. We live in the city. We get that a lot. People are like, oh, I thought you lived in the country.
But she's actually on our neighbor's property.
Yeah, she's on. So right next to where the shop is. The shop is our old church that we renovated, and we keep our sheep and our chickens there because it's a half acre, and so it's just more land for them there. And then next to it, the neighbor has a half acre, and they don't do anything with the majority of their yard. Like it's a huge area for her to roam, and so our cow lives over there and milks her.
Last night, all the 16 to 18-year-old young men in the youth program came and learned how to milk her. So I got backups.
Oh, Leah, the mold for the butter is not mold like fungus. It's like a mold, like an IOD mold, except for it's for butter. You can just put it in there and it makes it into a block. That way you can just stick it in your butter keeper. So anyways,
We've been doing enough little like small time homesteading on the side. We're contemplating starting.
Don't
a
cows
whole
have to
other
be
channel.
pregnant to produce milk? So she is 5 years old and she has had a calf, a couple. How many?
She's had 2 calves.
2 calves.
But you can milk them a long time after they've had the calf. You can keep them in milk, but it gets less creamier the longer you go. So you want to have a calf every year.
So she will get pregnant pretty soon. And we're not going to tell you how baby calves are made because I don't know who's watching this. But you can figure that one out. We will have a baby calf hopefully in the beginning of summer. It takes like 9 months.
Yeah, it's like 9 months, a couple weeks.
Okay,
about the
middle
same
of summer.
as people.
But anyways, there you go. We're looking to try to breed her with a mini, so that way it's easier for her to give birth. And
she's a sweetheart.
Do you have to boil the milk? No, because then if you boil the milk, then it's no longer raw milk. So we just drink it. We filter it like through a cheesecloth. And Zeb has a milking machine, so it goes straight into the can. So it's pretty clean. When we first started milking,
I still strain it.
Yeah, we still strain it. But when we first started milking, we were milking in a bucket by hand, and there was like more stuff that gets into it, so you have to double filter it, but it stays pretty clean now that we have a milking machine. What is the difference between using the ink compared to the paint? So we're going to find that out here in a little bit. We're going to double check it, but with ink, you're going to get more detailed impression, like all the details. With paint, it's less detailed because it's a thicker medium, so it's not as fine and sharp when you stamp it. And I feel like when you stamp with paint, it looks more hand painted, and that's my preferred look, but I don't know with this stamp that we're going to use today exactly what it'll look like. So once he gets most of this done here, I will probably paint the rest of it and do that while he gets started stamping, and he'll show you how to do that. And our jars I'm going to let dry all the way, and then I'll glue my little molds on and get my ribbon. Kai says, is the baby dad one from Cooper's family farm? Cooper raises pigs, and they have chickens and horses. They don't have any cows yet. I think that they're on the list for a cow, but that is not.
So to get a mini is pretty difficult, at least here in Utah. They're very highly sought after because a lot of people are trying to shift to that more simpler lifestyle, at least in our area.
Yeah, and a lot of people have land.
And if you've got, like, Lehigh is zoned in such a way, if you have enough property on your yard.
Unless you have an HOA.
Yeah, a lot of it's zoned agriculture, especially where we're at in the older part of town. So you can, if you have enough property, you can have a cow. So, and the smaller Jerseys, they eat a lot less, but they still produce like a couple gallons of milk a day when they're in their prime or more. And they only weigh like 500-600 pounds.
Yeah. Zeb is really good. He sanitizes all of his milk stuff every day, so we're good there. That's cute. All right, I'm gonna keep.
I don't know about this. I might paint over this. It wasn't as clean. The MDF is really soaking up.
I want to do floral on it,
like up here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you want to go get that inlay? Well, and I'll just.
It's right there.
Oh, that floral.
If you will work on something else.
Okay, well, let's finish one side so we can at least show them one side.
Okay, give me the paint, please, and the inlay,
but
and I'll paint over it.
I like the little I
feel like
balls on the bottom.
If it was bigger, then that reindeer would have worked, but you can't really tell what it is.
Yeah.
The balls are good. You did good with the balls. Okay, I'm going to.
So this is the floral we're talking about. Instead of the reindeer, we'll probably use this. I don't know if it's a reindeer. I think it's like a stag or deer or something.
Stag.
All right, so what are you wanting me to do? I was very focused on my garland beads.
I want you to stamp that board that I did.
Oh, where'd the board go?
I put it back there so I didn't get pink paint on it. All right, I got more paint on this.
You said you wanted me to practice stamp?
Yeah, I just want it, because I want to use paint instead of ink,
okay.
But I want to make sure that it's not going to be too smudgy.
All right.
Who is milking the cow, Zeb? It is his cow. I love raw milk. We've drank it for a really long time. I just used to get it from a dairy, local dairy. And if I had to milk the cow all the time, then we would still be just getting it from a dairy. It's not that I'm too good to milk a cow. It's just
it is a lot of extra work.
I'm busy and I don't like the cold.
We are all out of. I don't have anything to bray on.
You don't have anything to bray on?
No. Oh, here we are. We got some.
There's some paper plates there.
Plates were pulled out already.
I'm just using a section of this inlay. Oh, Jonathan Mark Mendez used this inlay on a piece of furniture. We are going to hopefully have a furniture video Friday. We sold a dresser. Was it last week?
Yep.
So we sold a dresser and we just haven't had time because we just got back from England and France, and we haven't had time to do another dresser, but we bought a dresser at the DI yesterday. We have some in the barn, but they all need work.
A lot of work.
And Zeb's going to stop by. We've got to go to the dump. We cleared out some of the animal stuff and we cleaned our garage. And so after he's done at the dump.
Let's just say my garage was like 2 craft kits behind on getting cleaned, and it gets blown up when that happens because just tons of sawdust and cutting and scraps, and it needed done.
So anyways, he's going to go drop that off, and then he'll stop by the thrift store and pick up the 4 pieces of furniture that we purchased. One is for his cousin, so I don't feel bad about buying 4, and one is for display. One is actually we're going to use as our coffee table in the family room, and I'm just going to sell. If you guys remember that chest we did with the IOD transfer on it, the white chest, I'm going to sell that. And I'm using the new thing that I bought in there. And then one is because we need a new dresser for the shop.
So Jamie likes to leave sometimes if she thinks the layout is pretty, she just uses the whole stamp all at once.
I don't think you should though.
But no, I'm going to get some angels out here and we're going to stamp them.
This needs to dry a little.
All right.
It's a little damp.
I have DIY little black dress on the roller here. And this brayer is going to help me get this on here smooth. You want to go a little juicier with the paint, but not so much that you're going to lose all the details on this and just push it down into everything.
I might have gone too wet
with the DIY paint, because it's clay-based, you do have to work pretty fast. I don't have this on a mount, so we'll see how it goes. I might need to put it on a mount because this trumpet is a little floppy.
Rashonda said the beautiful chest trunk. Yeah, it's been really good. We've loved it. This other one just fits the space better. That one was always a little tall for this space, so I think the other one's going to be good. And it was only $25, so it's good because I can take that chest that I finished, sell it for a couple $100.
That one you're getting though, it's for, I can't believe you paid that much at the thrift store.
$25.
It's like falling apart.
It just needs a little, few nails from Zeb. I mean, really, your nail gun and 2 minutes of your time, and it'll be fine.
It won't take long.
Oh, I think that looks good.
Oh man, that came out so good on this raw wood.
All right. There you go.
Hold on, let me bring it so I can focus it. You guys got to get the focus.
I hope you can do just as good. Now, the other side is textured, so it might be more complicated, but look at that.
Look at that Herald Angel.
So if you did that in ink, it would have skinnier lines. Does that make sense? Whereas paint, it's thicker.
Like these wings, the
but it
feathers
looks more
would
hand-painted.
be really detailed.
Would you please explain what inlays are? So paint inlays are, if you've ever used a transfer, right? It's like a sticker and you rub it on, essentially a vinyl sticker. This is actually just paint that has been dried onto these sheets of paper, and then you put them in paint and you get them wet. And when you get them wet, it activates that paint that's been put on the paper and meshes it into the paint here. So instead of having like a sticker line around it, it's just paint and paint. Does that make sense? And you do need to, before you seal it, we probably won't do this live, but you should take a 50-50 mix of sealer and water and spray it to set the inlay. Because if you just try to use a clear wax over the top of it, you're going to smear it.
It activates
because
really
it activates the paint. Because it's literally you're putting paint on paint. So it's a little bit more of a like involved technique. Oh yeah, that didn't work so well because I had too much paint on there. Actually, I don't care. I still like it, but I did too much chunky paint. And you're supposed to, the preferred technique is you paint with like regular DIY paint. You let that paint dry, and then you put, sorry, no, you don't let it dry. Sorry, you paint with DIY paint. You put the inlay in. You let that dry. Then you get it wet.
On
top again, inlay. And then you peel it off. And you can get it wet twice. Like you can put it on, get it wet, let it dry, get it wet again, peel it off. But we're using the fast method.
So while she was explaining that, you may have watched me. I kind of dabbed off the top of this because the paint is thick and it does dry. If I don't wipe that off, I'm going to continue to lose more and more detail every time I do the stamp. Okay. All right. Got a good coat on there. I think we did okay going freestyle. the last time around.
I'm just heat gunning this so that way I can inlay the other side.
All right, and then I press along the whole thing, making sure, because this, Jamie's added a lot of texture to this side with the paint frosting. And so I've got to really press down to make sure it's in all the nooks and crannies and we're not losing a lot of that stamp because it's sitting on the high parts. Oh, I think that worked out good.
Yeah, I think so too. It's actually a little more detailed than the last one. Don't want to knock that over.
There, that focused pretty well. Then I have my bonus on the back. It's already,
we'll just sand
it was
off.
already dry enough when I set it on the back side.
Okay, I'm going to let this dry on its own because I don't want to make it bubble, and this has a built-in sealer. And then I'll do the other side, and I'll do an inlay with not as thick a paint. But you can kind of see when you do it this technique where you just put the inlay in and then not wait for it to dry and then put the water on and peel it off, you get kind of a distressed look, which is what we're doing here. Does anyone know the location of Debbie Beard's new old location? So it's in Solana Beach on Cedros Avenue in the Art District. So I don't know the exact location, but if you look up Cedros Art District in Solana Beach, you can't miss it. It definitely is one of a kind on that street. Everything else is not quite so bright and fun. It's just down the street from the Jack in the Box.
Yeah, it is.
Not that Debbie eats a Jack in the Box, but I do when I go visit her. Okay, I'm going to pull my hair back.
All right. Do you need the heat gun so you can dry
Someone
your jars
asked on
out?
Facebook, what is your dad stenciling on the horse? It's my husband.
That's awesome. We're only 10 months apart.
Yeah.
But Jamie does look very young and I do look older.
I haven't even seen that you're bald yet.
I know. I haven't had my hat off in a hot minute.
Is Jonathan Mark Mendez on YouTube? He is on YouTube. He's on YouTube and Facebook. What is going on here? I'm not doing anything, and this is just Ty's trying to. Why is it coming through here?
I don't know. Ty, don't FaceTime me.
I'm gonna text him. Okay.
Probably because I have my phone on silence, and it's like,
okay.
Oh, the laptop's up. I'll FaceTime through that. Hopefully that didn't pause the video for you guys.
No, I don't think so. He's probably trying to show you what's in the garage.
Yeah, he's got some leftover, like they're essentially offcuts from a craft kit we did.
Debbie says, sorry, it's okay. When we were dating, people used to ask if he was they thought he was my older brother.
I mean, I could probably pull it off. You know, we could do that for Halloween. It would be fine.
That's fine. What are you planning to do with the jars? So the jars are going to get velvet ribbon. They're almost dry. We're getting there. They're going to get velvet ribbon, and I'm going to put Christmas tree in it. Do you need the heat gun? Yeah, probably.
Otherwise, we're going to be like all day getting 3 jars done. It is cool outside. We got snow and mixed rain on the forecast all evening. And it's supposed to go for like 24 hours. So we'll see what we end up with.
We'll get back to the jars here.
Might be the first big snow of the year. We'll see. It's still not that cold. I mean, it was 64 yesterday, even though it's freezing every night. Or no, 57. 57 yesterday.
Jana says we're young spring chickens.
I don't feel like a spring chicken, but I do feel young.
Yeah, I don't feel old most days.
All right, now I've got some decisions to make on what to do in the center here.
Ellen says, this is my first time here. How did you two learn how to do these crafts?
Lots of years.
Trial and error, and we're really not that good.
Lots of years of doing them.
There's a lot of other people way better at using IOD than us. But I feel like we're the people that say, if Jamie and Zeb can do it, well, at least Jamie. Zeb's better at crafting than I am. If I can do it, it's definitely doable.
So I'm contemplating. I've got like a little cherub here, and then this one looks like it's laying in like a bed of holly or something, some sort of wreath. I'm thinking of doing the 2 big wings that don't have a body, they're just wings. Here, and then something in between. I also have this one that's big and flying.
Marcia says, don't send the snowy stuff to Ohio.
Oh,
right?
we've been on half hour. Let me fix the camera.
We're just a little behind on our like fall cleanup because we went to England and France a week ago. And so that's the only reason why I don't really want it to snow, because we got to do a few things to prep for the weather. We probably need to clear out some of the stuff that's outside at the church shop. If you guys are new here, then you probably know what we're talking about. We own a 130-year-old church that's our retail store, and that's where we keep our animals.
Was
And
a church.
It was a
Since
church.
the 50s.
Yes. Disclaimer. It used to, somebody lived in it before we bought it. But anyway, and so we've got to do some stuff over there. All right. Thank you. Kaylin just dropped the lids for these, the link. So that could be fun because then you can put IOD on the lid. I'm going to put another coat of Sandy Blonde. So you probably can't tell, but there is a little bit of peekaboo coming through on these glass jars from the first coat. So I'll get a more solid look. And I also don't know if you can tell, but I'm keeping my wrist very loose and I am not pushing hard. If I pushed hard, this paint would come right off.
Not going to go with the wings. I think that's going to look kind of too abstract.
Yeah, let's do some cherubs.
I think I'll do a couple little cherubs in the middle and then build out
Let's
with
do
the
some
floral.
fat naked babies.
Well, I got a few of them. Let's see, there's one.
And there's also some floral too.
Oh, we can do this one in the middle. Yeah, I'm going to build the floral up over.
I like having a white Christmas, and I like having snow on the mountains. I don't enjoy snow in my yard. We junk, we move furniture, we have animals. We have to do a lot of stuff outside. Zeb doesn't mind though. So he actually takes a bulk. In the winter, we kind of divide and conquer and I become the housewife. And he does all the exterior work because I'm like, it's too cold. It's too cold. I'll do the dishes and wash the laundry. Mary says, I love that you guys are live and aren't afraid of making oopses.
Oh yeah, you gotta just run with whatever happens on these live streams. This is like real-time crafting.
I feel like I screw up a lot, so I guess if it worried me, then I would never go live. There's like, I did really chunky. Oh shoot. Okay.
It'll be okay.
Yeah, except for I just burnt a hole in my leggings.
Oh, you burned your leg.
I didn't burn my leg. Like it was literally 2 seconds.
That's why you almost said a no word.
I said shoot.
Saved it at the last second.
I was going to say shoot from the beginning. It was
coming out another way.
It was not. These are my new leggings from JamieRayVintage.com. Good thing I just ordered more of them. Also, if you've been waiting for plus size leggings, I reordered them in black because we were sold out at 2 and 3X, I think, or at least 3X. Commercial break. Also, they won't hold up to a heat gun, so don't do that.
If you're just joining, all these products like the stamps and stuff that we're using, the IOD stuff is if you buy 2, you get 25% off and free shipping until Friday at midnight. So the 4th, 2022, November 4th, 2022. Since we're commercial breaking, give you the info on it.
All right. I can't believe I just did that live.
That's kind of a while supplies last.
Ellen says, talk about a whoopsie. There you go. I now have a holesy. And this is the first time I've worn these gray ones, and I'm kind of sad. Poor leggings. It's all right. Luckily, I didn't burn my leg. Like, it literally was 2 seconds. Snow is pretty, but not to live with. All right, I'm going to get this done here.
I'll show you guys in a sec what I got going on.
I think this one needs, did I second coat this one? I feel like I didn't because the rest have better coverage.
This one is difficult for me to see what angle there's so much floral around it. Maybe once I get the stamp, the paint on it.
You don't know which way's up?
Yeah. Exactly. Okay. It's laying in there like that. We'll put them in just over here.
All right. Now that's better. I have to wear paint clothes. All my clothes are paint clothes. I used to just wear like really crusty ones. If you watch our really old videos, like my clothes are pretty sad looking. But I got tired of always wearing my crusty clothes. So I just decided, you know what? If my good clothes get paint on them, that's just life. I'm an artist. It's what I do. I do save a few things for like church, but there are actually a few dresses that I wear to church that have just a little bit of paint, you know, not a lot. All right, I'm going to try to get one of these all the way
Just a
dry.
hint of paint. There'll just be like one little spot, and most of the time it just looks like it's
How do
part of the
I
design.
remove wax from a painted piece? You can use, what's that product? You know, what do you use to get wax
mineral
off?
spirits.
Mineral spirits to remove it. If it's like really dry and cured, you could just lightly sand it and prime it with Salvation solution would probably work. And if it's totally dry and hard, I've painted over wax before, no problem. But if it's damp or sticky at all, or it's not been a long time since you waxed it, then you got to use mineral spirits and get it off. It's hard for me to say exactly what to do without being there. Mineral spirits is probably your best bet.
All right, this is where we're at so far. Now I'm going to build in the floral so they don't look like they're just randomly on there.
Ellen, I actually did not burn my skin. Like it literally touched it for half a second.
She was scared that she was going to burn
Yeah,
her
I
skin.
thought I was going to burn my skin. My skin is not burned.
There was fear.
Okay, this is dry. Did you get out the glue? All right, we're going to get these pretty close to done. I'm just going to work on one at a time so I can get it finished. I need to...
Do you need the hot glue or the construction adhesive? I have both.
Construction adhesive, but I think I'm going to clear wax this ahead of time.
Okay, let me know when you're ready.
Okay.
How's my horse looking?
Your horse is drying. I don't know where my wax, my little pointy sister is. Did you put...
That's probably out here, got washed. It's right there.
Oh.
You might want to dry it off. I did scrub it.
You washed my wax brush?
You have to every now and then or they get crusty.
This is not technically a wax brush, but really I use it all the time. The PS10 Klingon. I'm just going to clear wax this. It's going to melt nice and neat on here. Again, just painted it. Super slick surface. Not going to push hard because I don't want to pull that paint off.
You going to leave a spot where you don't wax? So
no, I'll just let it dry real quick.
Sticks good?
It'll be fine. The glue will stick fine.
All right.
Okay, it gets darker when you wax it. It almost looks like a crock. Sandy blonde is like the perfect color if you want it to look like a crock. Look at that. Boom, baby. Well, we're not live. I might paint the bottom. I might not. I don't know. We'll let that dry. I'll do this one next.
I pretty much have pulled every element off of this now.
I don't know about those little lines you did underneath.
I'm going to make the floral drip off of them.
Oh, okay. That'll be cute.
Hopefully. That's the hope.
That's the desired effect.
Yep.
Now my question is, because I did texture, I was going to like sand it. Will that make it look too muddy? Like, what are we going to do? How are we going to finish it off?
I think you'd be all right.
I'm going to let you do it. I'm not having very good luck over here today. I'm going to wax these. What is IOD? IOD is Iron Orchid Designs, and we sell their products. We're a retailer. They're two sisters, so it's a small company, and it is items that you can use for crafting or furniture artistry. They have inlays, stamps, molds. Like we have a mold that we used on our video. If you haven't seen it, check it out, from yesterday. And we put resin in it, and we were able to make this detailed little ornament. And they carry a ton of crafty products. They're fun. All right, let that dry. So all I'm doing right now is I'm using clear wax because DIY paint, I use Sandy Blonde. It does not have this paint, not the cottage color, but the regular DIY paint does not have a sealer. And so the wax will seal it. It'll dry up and we'll be good. Price on the angel sign, probably once it's framed, probably like $39.95. We'll see how cool it is. These little, I know a lot of you guys are makers, so just to give you an idea on pricing for like these little Christmas trees that I'm doing, I might sell them for like 20 bucks in the shop. Again, depends on how cool they turn out. The rocking horse, probably like 30-ish, maybe $40, depending on how cool that turns out. We do a lot of handmade stuff on our videos because we have a lot of handmade items in our shop. Like I made a bunch of ornaments. Zeb actually made a bunch of kitchen towels that we need to get photographed. This year especially, I feel like because we do buy wholesale items to sell at our shop. Not everything is handmade, but the prices have gone up quite a bit. And so making stuff tends to work better for us. Plus, it helps show people how to use the products that we sell. So it's like a win-win. And luckily, I shopped a lot the last few years. So we have quite a bit of Christmas decor.
We have a lot
shop.
of stuff that's still available.
Yeah.
It does tend to go fast, like for the first couple weeks in November, though.
Sandra says oh, sorry.
No,
go ahead.
I was just going to say, and then we kind of trickle down, and a lot of times Jamie's just like, oh, I'll save that for next year.
I always like to save some. People ask me if we go on super clearance at the end of the season. And I always say no, because every year I think I'm going to be organized and order a bunch of Christmas stuff ahead of time. And every year I'm so glad that I have a Christmas stash to put out at the beginning of the season to give me time to order stuff in. I was just going to say, Sandra said, thank you for tutorialization, if that's a word. You're welcome.
We're just over here giving you ideas, kind of playing.
Ellen says, I appreciate that you guys are answering questions. Many crafters ignore questions. I don't know it's so much ignore. A lot of people.
It's hard to answer while you're live.
Yeah, if you're trying to craft live on TV, a lot of people haven't been doing it as long, or there's just like I missed quite a few. I tried not to.
If I was up here by myself, it'd be like quiet and me kind of just droning on about whatever I was doing.
Yeah.
It helps to have a partner.
They might not look it, but a lot of crafters are super nervous. So just crafting on camera is hard. Zeb and I have done over 1,300 videos. So I would say by now we're fairly comfortable on camera.
Yeah. I can pretty much wing it.
Are you going to sell the kitchen towels online? Yes, we will. I literally just need to photograph them. It'll probably not be till the end of the week because I have 3.5 suitcases left of stuff to list from the England haul. And we just reloaded it. So if you haven't checked that out, definitely check out the collection because we just reloaded it yesterday morning. But I want to get the rest of the stuff from England and France listed on the website. And then I can do some other things because it's taking over my living room. If you could see what my life was like outside of this camera, it's even more messy than what we got going on here.
So if you'll notice on some of these, I'm only using like half the stamp. I'm holding it back and pressing, kind of basically masking it off freestyle here. Because I don't want the patterns to look all the same.
And they do come with masks. So if you don't want to layer over the top, you can. I
got to fill in these sections here. Maybe I'll do the tops of these wings like there's a big angel coming up.
Oh, this is still pretty.
What do you think, Jamie?
It really melts it on there. I don't know if I should have done that. I should have glued it on first. What? Yeah, that's fine. Fills in the gap.
Yeah.
Or can you just do this?
I have some big ones.
Do that.
I feel like it needs to arch that way though.
Well, doesn't it go both ways? Or no? I don't know. I haven't been paying that much attention.
All right, I'll try it. If worst case scenario, I'll just paint over it.
I need this wax to dry. I'm gonna get
I tried to.
I know you were right. It's 10:47 and I haven't even finished my trees. I'll tell you what, though, I'm going to finish them on camera because otherwise they'll be half finished. So we might go a little long. If Caitlin needs to leave, she can, but we're going to stay on until these trees are finished. I'm committed. All right, I'm just going to not damp. What is this called? Dab the wax because these were warm and it literally
Can you dab?
I'm dabbing the wax. And they have a little bit of texture built up because this is clay paint, so it kind of makes it look more like a pot, which is kind of fun.
You showed your age right there. Dab like Jack would dab. There you go.
What am I painting? These are just little jars that yogurt came in. They're going to be the base to my Christmas tree craft. I promise I will get there, finish it eventually. Hold on, I missed waxing that. But I waxed them when they were hot, and so the wax is like all melty on there. Okay.
It'll be really good and sealed.
For sure. I might wait to put the ribbon on till later because I don't want to get the ribbon waxy, but I'll show you the ribbon that's going to go on there. Okay. Now, what did we decide? We're going to use hot glue or do we want to use the construction adhesive? Can you just do construction adhesive?
I think your construction adhesive is going to be your best bet. Hot glue dries too quickly, and I think it will just pull off of that paint. Okay. You need the construction adhesive to absorb down into your wax situation.
All right. When you're done with that, I'll
I
have you
just need
glue
to
it.
put this one on. I'm just trying to build some floral over here.
You're just over there stamping
Oh,
it
that
up.
got way too dark. I need to wash that one.
It's juicy. I like it.
It gives it interest and detail.
Do not slip and fall in the
I
paint
just kicked
inlays.
like 42 inlays across the floor.
There's like a pile of inlays on the floor, and he almost just biffed it. Okay. So these, if you're just tuning in, I'll just briefly go over what these are. These are resin appliques that we made using the IOD Cameo mold, and also I have one from like the Holly and the Fleur mold that we sell. And then I painted them with copper patina and did black wax on them. And then this one I actually microwaved and molded it to this. I'll show you in a minute how I did that. But if you want to see the full how we made these pieces, just watch the video that we put up yesterday, 5 thrift flips, I believe, home decor. It's on YouTube and Facebook, and you can see these are just leftover from those projects. I always like to use our leftovers on Waste Not Wednesday because they are flat, but these are a rounded surface, so I microwaved them.
It doesn't look like I'm going to get to these. What I was going to do with these is I was going to do 2 of these deer. If you have, let's see, this is the jingle. If you have the IOD jingle mold, I don't know that they're available anymore. We can't get them from IOD. They're inverted here so that you could do almost like an ornament. They're opposite each other. And I was going to put 2 of these together, put them on a stick, right? And then have that be like the stand.
I'm going to go microwave this for 30 seconds. I'm just going to tell you what I'm doing so you know where I'm at.
Yeah, and then I was just going to have them be a stand. And you don't, let's say you don't have these. You could do that with a number of the other IODs. Even if you just had like the frames, this is the first frames. I was seeing if this was frames 2 or frames 1. You could take this frame here and do something really cool, and then do, you could just decoupage paper over this if you wanted it to be Christmas. It could be whatever holiday season you wanted, and still put the stick in. And I mean, you don't have to use a tree. You could use a dowel. I happen to have this apple branch, so I just cut it down. But that was what the idea was going to be. I don't think we're going to have time to do that. We got like 10 minutes left. But just so you know what I had planned for these.
They're not just out for looks.
They were out for looksies. They're just here chilling.
All right. That's drying. So this, see how I can bend this now? Because I microwaved it for 30 seconds. I'm going to hold it against the side.
Just so you know, you don't have unlimited microwave times. Like every time you microwave it, it'll bend, but it also hardens the chemical makeup of the plastics. And if you do it a couple, 2, 3 times, it'll start to crack.
Yeah, I only do it the one time. And then I'm going to hold this here for probably a minute while it cools. And because if you pull it off after you've shaped it, it'll go flat again. So I'm really wanting it to cool in this shape so that way I can glue this on because it's a rounded surface. And it's not going to make a 90-degree angle. If you want a 90-degree angle, you're going to need to use paper clay, but you can get rounded surfaces. What heat do you recommend? I just use regular heat. I don't do anything special.
It's like a 1100 watt microwave.
30 seconds. Use caution, guys. Like practice, play with it. I'll just hold it here for a minute. Play around with your microwave on a not precious piece to make sure. And I mean, really best option is to do it straight out. Like when you take it out of the mold, it's still really pliable. You could do that. Like take it out of the mold, hold it against your piece, whatever. But in this case, these are just leftovers. Like I painted a bunch yesterday for a project and I had leftovers and I didn't want to go to waste. Is the microwave better than a heat gun for resin?
The heat gun I find is harder to control. Ours gets up to 700 degrees.
Yeah, and I don't want to melt this underneath it. So yeah. I like it better, but I guess personal preference. Is Zeb using DIY paint? Yes, Zeb is using
little black dress.
Little black dress, and we're braying it on, so we're rolling it on.
I think I'm pretty much done. I don't want to add like too much and get it crazy. I'm gonna let this dry for a sec, and then I'm gonna sand it just lightly.
I don't know, Zeb. I think we should seal it first before you sand it.
Seal it with like top coat.
Yeah. Can you heat gun it, let it cool, and then yeah. I am
loving like the whole scene. I feel like that came together pretty well using the different elements.
I don't know if we want to sand it because I don't want to get that paint all powdery and get it dirty looking.
Should I fill in these little gaps here with floral so it like looks like it's going all the way across like a garden would?
No, I think that's good just like that.
All
I
right.
really do like it. I think we just leave it and then we'll frame it out, obviously not on camera, and we'll like spray it with a sealer.
Okay.
And call it good. I think it's cool. And we'll sand the back. We did a test run on the back. Yes, so Polari Mom, it's 25% off each item. You have to buy 2 or more, and you can buy as many as you want. Once you hit 2, you get 25% off everything you buy. That's IOD.
And I should mention that the free shipping is to the lower 48.
Yes. Amazon cannot sell IOD. Please, please, please do not buy any molds that look like IOD on Amazon, because here's the deal. You're basically buying bootlegged items. What they do is they take IOD's stuff and they try to recreate it as cheaply as possible, and they're essentially stealing from the IOD sisters. So a lot of people don't know that.
Like pirating music or TV or whatever.
Yeah, it's not the same quality product. You're not going to get the same quality image, and you're essentially supporting people that are stealing, because that's what they're doing. And they tried to get Amazon to take it off, but it's virtually impossible because people from other countries have no scruples about stealing their stuff.
Did you know that there was a key in the IOD stuff? Just randomly
No,
floating around?
I did not know that.
I wonder if this goes to a cabinet or something that we need.
And I'm not trying to make you feel bad because most people don't know. I'm just trying to let people know that.
All right. This, are you?
I'm making a mess. That is what I'm doing.
So I would have just left it poochy and it would have mushed out.
I don't want to leave it poochy because I painted the underneath. So I want it to be a neat application. And I'm kind of putting it further down on the bottom because I'm going to add ribbon.
If you're just joining and you haven't seen, we were doing inlays on this horse. The other side hasn't been painted yet. I might finish that while we're waiting. It looks pretty bright. I might turn the brightness down in a second, show you. But I'm going to paint the tops and things and get this.
Love Shack. I figured you didn't know that. Most people don't. Like, it's not common knowledge. And we try not to like talk about it because I don't like to talk about negative stuff. But every now and then I bring it up. That's my TED talk for the day. Can you hold it up one more time? You want to? Oh, they want to see your angel. Do a nice slow pan.
I'll bring it closer so you can see the detail because there is a lot. The stamps, even though
there's a fly in here.
If you use ink, you're going to get even more detail. But I think the paint is a little easier to control on something like this that's wood.
There we go. It's kind of blurry. There you go. There you go. Martha said she didn't know about Amazon either. Yeah. That's the way it is. Now, there are maybe other different molds, but if they look like the IOD ones, they're knockoffs. So
there's a good long view of it.
Okay, I need ribbon. I already brought that out.
Yep.
And the hot glue, can you turn my hot glue gun on? And we are going to finish one project.
I finished mine mostly. I guess I got to frame it. I'll probably just frame it in lath real easy and just do butt joints.
This is just velvet ribbon. You can get at your craft store or you can order online. And it's going to be a little bit difficult because I have paint all over the place. Typically what I do is finish the project and remove all paint from the area.
So you know what happened on this? You didn't use enough paint. This MDF really soaks it up. I had like...
No, I had a lot of paint.
Oh,
I had too much paint.
Oh, too much. Because I had like 3 layers of paint on mine.
Yeah, I used too much paint. Because I was trying to cover up your one you didn't like.
Oh, gotcha. We'll keep working on it. I think the little beads on the bottom are the best. They came out real good.
I'm not super good at tying a bow when my fingers are all sticky and waxy.
Well, I would help you, but I've got little black dress all over mine.
Yeah, I don't want little black dress. I feel like that would be worse. Okay. Get my bow done here.
So who is already, comment below, who's already on top of November 1st? There's a lot of people that wait until after Thanksgiving. And then there's like two camps. The people that wait until after Thanksgiving to decorate for Christmas, and then the people that do it November 1st.
Hey, I'm thankful for Christmas. Also, it takes me an entire month to get it done, and I don't like to mess around with it in December. So that's me. It's not that I want to push Christmas too soon. It's just I'm going to have to redo this bow, but you guys get the point. The problem is there's paint on it. but I'll get this finished and then I'll do another bow later. Luckily, I have lots of room. But I like to do mine, like I literally, hopefully today, we've been busy. Normally, I'd already have my Christmas tree up. Hopefully today, I'll put my Christmas tree up, but I probably won't decorate it. I will pull out the decorations I have, and then we make decorations. And so it takes me like a month to get it done. All right, did you want to cut these for me? How did these come off?
Oh, yeah, let me go get
This is just an old Christmas tree I had from years past.
Let me go get my 10 snips. That'll be the best.
And we're going to cut greenery off of it. That's adorable. Thank you. I actually really love the sandy blonde color for glass to make it look like a crock. Let me see if I can I'll find a crock and I'll show you what it looks like next to it. Hold on. Oh, I guess I can't go because Zeb's off camera. Here we go. This is a mug that I made, but it kind of gives you this is the sandy blonde, and this is like crockery type mug that I made for our anniversary last year. So the sandy blonde's a really great option.
I think after today, I mean, I have like a mountain of stuff I still need to do, but a lot of the critical stuff will mostly be done.
Can you glue that in there?
And I'll have time to do a little bit of like organization in the garage and crafting.
This is the kids' school, so.
Oh, yes. I'm just trimming these off. This is from years past. This might have even been from like, I don't know where we got this from. We got some similar a while ago. And normally I wouldn't cut them, but it's all wrapped up in like this fancy floral tape. And who knows how far down the wires go. But cutting enough of them off of here. That's too big. Need to cut that down. Oh, there we go. And then now we need possibly a little pine cone in there. We'll pull that one out of the back. All right, so these are, I feel like they might be the right height. Let me bring this close for you. Here, I'll bring in the zoom in. She will probably organize this a lot better and make it look cuter and fuller, but you get the idea. Let me brighten that up. There we go. So this is kind of Christmassy, right? But we just used the IOD Cameo mold. We didn't even use one of their Christmas ones. Christmas style ribbon, painted a little glass jar, and we're using leftover greenery. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. That's still that little topiary thing was still probably good to go, but we've used it in years past and she wanted to switch up. So we're just kind of using what we've got here. But that's the idea. I think we're going to do a bunch of them. Let me stuff this other one. I don't know. I'm not going to tie any ribbon on it because my hands got more paint on it than hers. Renata says, oh, you guys are all weighing in, commenting on if you've already decorated or not. Let me see if I can scroll up. Yeah, they're starting like a lot of people are saying they haven't necessarily done their whole home, but they're doing like small areas, office.
Look at you trying to read comments.
Oh yeah,
I'm so proud of you. All right, I'm gonna get that. Did you turn the glue gun on?
They did like this. Renata said that she likes to do Christmas decor that also works with her fall decor.
You could do a thankful tree. Put your tree up. Put some Thanksgiving stuff on it. All right, everything's fine. Nobody's dying. I always just like to check, especially when it's a little boys' school. Apparently, Redrick was tired on Monday, and it was just school counselor saying that the teacher had to meet with him. And Redrick said he had gotten up early to work out. I'm like,
or play video games.
He's like, did you know about that? I'm like, I was sleeping. So we'll talk to him when he gets home.
He's 11. I'm not worried about what time of day he sleeps. If he wants to work out, he can work out.
Yeah, but he needs to not be tired of school.
That's true.
The joys of parenting. Let's see.
I mean, it only lasts so long, and then you got to sleep, right?
Yeah, for sure. Just so you guys know, like this is still very delicate. So you want your wax and your paint to cure very hard before you're doing a lot of things with it. Because I literally could take my fingernail right now and scrape this off because it's not cured.
It is about to snow, and our neighbor is mowing their leaves up. They're not raking their leaves up. They're mowing their leaves up.
Across the street?
No, over here next to us.
Oh, that's funny. This is going to take a minute. I'm just seeing if there's any questions. And like I said, we are using this Christmas tree, but like you could totally just go to the thrift store, buy old wreaths. We actually have an entire basket of greenery, probably some that would work better than this, but it's at the shop because Maria has been working on Christmas displays and asked for greenery. So I took my greenery basket over there for her to use.
Oh, shoot. I got
Am I on? I did take this off so that way they didn't hear my conversation because you never know with kids, like what you're going to get when the school calls. What color paint on the jars? This is Sandy Blonde by DIY Paint. You can get it at jamierayvintage.com. And if Caitlin's still on here, she can drop the link. If she's not, if you just search Sandy Blonde on our website, it'll pop up. All right,
It's under the DIY tab.
Yeah, I'm just going to glue this in here.
DIY Paint. All right. This horse is almost pink. I think we're going to do, so it's got a couple of the inlay elements on there. We're going to cover the whole horse up. I might not do the head. I might leave the head alone. And then I really like a dark wax, which is more brownish on pink. I think it looks really good and kind of like not necessarily grungy, but just aged. And we'll probably do that on this horse and give it a little more.
We like a dirty pink.
Yeah. All right. Do you have enough of those ready to go?
I'm working on it.
Oh, you're gluing that in. I told you she'd zhuzh it up and make it look pretty.
Well, how are you going to do it?
I was just letting them sit in there. You're just chilling in the bottom.
I think I just snorted a little.
You're done. Cute. I was done.
You're like, look what I did. I just put this in a jar and it's fantastic. No, I'm hot gluing them in. Are you selling the rocking horse that is painting? Yes, we will get these finished. If you email Caitlin, she'll let you know when the links go up. info@jamierayvintage.com.
I got to go run my brother some soup. He's sick. He's actually on his 4 days off. He does shift work at the mine. He works 5 and then he's off 4. But he's like, he just started his 4 off and he's sick. So I'm going to go run him some soup. And then I got to run to the dump. And then we'll probably finish these. Yeah,
it'll be later today or by tomorrow. Probably later today because I want to get the stuff out. Although we have a football banquet. I have a cheer meeting. I have a lot of things today. I've got to make a pasta salad for the football banquet for Jack.
Oh, the cheer meeting on Nationals is tonight.
All right. Huh? Yeah, but you don't have to go to that. It's only one parent. I mean, you could, but you'll probably be milking a cow. All right. Let me get this.
Buttercup there we and go. We have a lot of long
Isn't
good
that
conversations.
Cute?
It is good.
That is.
So I showed him that one close already. Do you have the other one ready?
No.
Oh, we've been on. I gotta hit the thing again.
There we go. Here's the other one. I'm not gonna put the ribbon on this because I want this to be all the way dry. I need a clean area. And then I've got.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I'm like, I could tie the ribbon on this one, but I don't think
this one is just like a little leaf, and I'm gonna put that on one of these jars, and then I'm gonna do a crown, but the crown's gonna need to be microwave so that way I can get it around the edge, but that'll give you the idea.
This is going to get framed out. I have a ton of lats, so I'm just going to do some lat strips and butt join them up, and then they'll overlap the front and the back. That way it can be hung just resting on the lath. And we'll get if you follow us on like Facebook or Instagram or, all the places, we'll put a picture.
I'm like, where are we not?
Where are we not going to put a picture?
We're going to put it all the places. Anyways,
we don't really do Twitter much, although Elon's apparently.
Let's not talk about the Twitter because I probably am not doing that. But I am on TikTok, almost 10,000 followers, which is a lot because I'm not cool. But I think that we should do, when we hit 10,000 followers, I think that Zeb should do a TikTok dance.
A TikTok dance?
Because you never will dance with me.
That's pretty. I mean, I do glitter and stuff, but I don't know if I can do a TikTok dance.
Well, we'll see. We're like 99 people away from 10,000. Anyways, thanks for being with us today for Waste Not Wednesday. Hopefully we inspired you to get crafting. You can visit jamierayvintage.com for the paint products used today. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, share it out, and subscribe to Jamie Ray Vintage for more
DIY.
Bye, guys. Have a great day. Stay warm if it's cold where you're at.
We got to stop saying DIY and start calling it experimentation.
Experimentation.